Court will come to order. It is Monday, May the 6th, 2024. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. And the Kerr County Commissioners Court is in session in a special meeting. We do not have prayer and pledge on special meetings, nor do we have public input. So we'll move straight into the consideration agenda. Item 1.1 is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept the resignation of the county clerk. And I have here the letter that I received from Ian Collum last Wednesday. And it's addressed to me. And it says, I respectfully submit this letter as my formal resignation as Kerr County Clerk, effective immediately. Unfortunately, due to ongoing health issues, it is in my best interest to resign. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunities that I have been given throughout my employment with Kerr County. I have been blessed to work in an office full of kind, capable, and intelligent men and women who I have the utmost respect. I would not have been able to accomplish all that we did without their help and guidance. Please let me know of any way I can assist with the transition of responsibilities to ensure that it is as seamless as possible for everyone involved. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to serve. Sincerely, Ian Collum. That's what brings us to this special meeting today.
I'll move for approval of the resignation letter.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second to accept the resignation letter. Just as a clarification to the public, the resignation is not effective until it is accepted by the court. So even though he said effective immediately, he holds over and continues to serve as the county clerk until that the resignation is accepted, which is the motion that's just been made and seconded. So with that, is there any discussion? If those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, 4-0. Moving on to item 1.2. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to appoint county clerk as needed here. We don't have to go to executive session on this, do we?
Pardon? Say that again?
Executive session or not?
No, you don't have to. If you'd like to get some legal advice about the process, we can.
Well, okay.
But if y'all know the process. Here we
Well,
are,
but the public
third time in 10 years.
But the public doesn't know the process, and it's important for them to understand what we're doing.
For appointment of the county clerk, well, you accept the resignation and he holds over until you appoint a new one, so that you have on the agenda today that you can appoint a new clerk. That's up to the Commissioners Court to fulfill the unexpired term. So she'll serve until the end of the year. And then you have also on the agenda to approve the bond.
Correct. So we're at stage 1.2, and this is to discuss appointing a new county clerk.
I'll
And
start.
Well, let me start.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead, John. Well, I've got something for Bob Reeves to read, but go ahead.
I was going to actually go over the same thing.
Then read it.
I don't want to say anything.
This is from Bob Reed. It's a little bit of a history of one of his employees, Nadine Alford. And I think it's important for everyone to understand exactly the situation and her experience. And I talked to Nadine and Bob last week. I think the letter will be self-explanatory. Nadine Alford joined Kerr County Clerk's office in 1985. She started in land records. Soon she was to go to expert.
We'll go to expert.
Go to expert for every abstractor, landman, realtor in the Hill Country. Over the next 22 years, Nadine worked in almost every department in the clerk's office, including but not limited to probate, county court of law, vital records. She rose to the position of chief deputy and served with utmost distinction. In 2007, she moved to the tax office as election coordinator. In addition to her election duties, you will often see her working the motor vehicle counter with a line of comes along. During her tenure, she achieved the registered election official and certified election registration administrator designation. That's known as CIRA. The CIRA designation is a master's level achievement offered by Auburn University. On December 1st, 2018, she became chief deputy of the Kerr County Tax Office. Nadine probably holds the distinction of being the only person to be chief deputy of two different county offices. As chief deputy, she handled the office HR duties, elections, and other duties which needed attention. With 39 years of service to the county, Nadine could choose to sit back and wait for retirement whenever it might be. However, this is not her style. She has never been content only giving a day's work for a day's pay. She arrived early, stays late because work needs to be finished. She is loyal to the fault, to the county, and to the bosses, the citizens. The sudden resignation of the county clerk, there is a void in the office. She can fill that void. The selfish part of me does not want to lose such a valuable teammate and friend. However, I know she's needed in the Kerr County Clerk's office for the good of the county. I totally support her appointment to be the next county clerk. And I think it pretty much goes without saying. And the reason that I visited with Nadine and Bob last week was that I knew how her experience. She's really the only employee that we have that has that kind of experience in the county clerk's office, and the elections are a new part of that office. So with that, I'll make a motion to appoint Nadine Alford as the county clerk. Fill out the unexpired term.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to appoint Nadine Alford as the interim Kerr County clerk. With that, the floor is open for discussion.
We're just fortunate to have somebody with that expertise, and I couldn't think of a better fit myself.
Well, I think we're at a unique crossroads, and I want to make sure that we have informed the public background. We moved the elections from the tax office last year to the county clerk's office, who has the statutory obligation to provide the election process. And this was an unusual year for us. We have 4 elections this year. We had a primary in March. We just had the municipal election. We've got a runoff election in a couple of weeks. And then we've got the general election in November. So the county clerk's office, with the assistance from Bob Reeves and Nadine Alford, began the process of mastering the election process, which has been headed by Denise Vale here in the courtroom. And she's done a masterful job, truly a masterful job. We couldn't be prouder of it. What we have now is between now and the end of this year, we have 2 more elections. The general election in November looks like it's going to be a high-spirited contest, as usual. And so it seems only logical that we would tap Nadine to come back and help us finish out this year without prejudice, I might add. And we'll talk about that here in a minute, because if she chooses to go back to the tax office, we want to make sure that position is going to be available for her. But we need someone to help us through the end of this year. Now, for those people, I'm not going to go into the county attorney's presentation here, but there will need to be an election, because Ian was the Republican Party candidate that was approved at the last primary election in March. And so then we'll have to deal with that issue. But for the time being, we need an interim county clerk. And that's the motion and the second, and I think we could not be in better hands than Nadine at this point.
Yeah, I think just I want to emphasize again, it's not just the election side that Nadine had as referring, it's that whole office. And it's a, I would say there's been turnover over there, but there's some people in the office that have not been there all that long and are learning a lot of their jobs, and all of a sudden quick turnover. I think it's going to be a good thing for that office to get that kind of experience over there, and everything. There's a lot of reportings that need to be done. That office does a lot more than I think most of the public realizes, and it's critical to our county government.
It's vital.
Yeah, without doubt.
And I think that Nadine can go in there and mentor, and there's a great staff over there. But I think that her knowledge will help them. I think it'll be a good fit.
Leadership.
Well, and one thing that the public probably does not know is there are tremendous responsibilities in the county clerk's office to provide reportings on a timely basis to the state, failing which we lose our opportunity to receive grants, which is a big part of our income at this point. And so to have somebody that understands the system and understands the reporting deadlines is vital for us to be able to keep wheels on the truck here. So, anything else?
I've worked with Nadine over 20 years on the federal side too. I don't think we could find a better person.
Okay, so with that, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, 4-0. Now, full disclosure, she will take over at the Kerr County Clerk's salary, which is $77,378.21, and she will serve through the end of December 31, 24, and whoever gets elected will take office in January 1, 2025. So moving on to item number 3 on the agenda, which is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve retention of step and grade, longevity, and sick leave for the tax assessor's office employee. And what this is, as I mentioned earlier, if she serves out as the interim through the end of this year and does not run for that office and goes back into the tax office, we want to hold her position so she goes back in exactly where she's leaving. We don't want there to be any penalty for helping us out. So,
I think it's also, elected officials do not get comp time, sick leave, or PTO. So, so the fact that she, it's not probably legal for her to lose that. So basically, she's resigning from being a county employee and becoming a elected official. And with that, we need to pay out her comp time and her sick time, and the portion. This is a technicality that Nadine probably doesn't know. The portion of her PTO that's under the policy, the agenda doesn't list PTO, so we can't. Nadine has 440 hours of PTO.
that's paid time off.
Paid time off. Our policy, without it making an exception, only covers 160 hours. So we can come back at our next meeting and make that adjustment. But today, all we can do is authorize, I'll make a motion to authorize the payment of 200 hours of comp time, 160 hours of paid time off, and 600 hours of accrued sick time. No, go back. The sick time,
She'll retain the sick time.
you're gonna retain the sick time if you go back to that position, or maybe you pay back whatever the our policy says.
She'll just retain it if she goes back to the position. If she doesn't go back to the position, it's lost.
So my motion is to pay the 200 hours of comp time and the 160 hours of paid time off, and additional paid time off we'll consider at our next meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the retention of step and grade, longevity, and sick leave for the tax assessor's office employee as presented. Explain. Any other discussion?
Just a comment, I don't see the auditor here, but based on the email from Bob Reeves, he does not intend to fill the chief deputy spot, so the funds to pay this off will come out of that line item. But there'll be a budget amendment at our next meeting to handle that part of it. Okay.
Okay. So those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Now moving on to item 1.4, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve the bond for the county clerk. And we have secured the bond for Nadine right here. We need a motion to approve that.
I'll move for approval.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second to approve the bond as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Now with that, I have the oath of office. And Nadine, if you will step down front. This is the photo opportunity. Now, did you ever think this was going to be what you're doing?
No.
I didn't think this was in your wheelhouse.
It's not.
Okay. If you would, please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Nadine Alford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of
the duties of
the office of county clerk, Kerr
the
County Clerk
of the office of Kerr County Clerk
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United
and
States
the laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll get you to sign this right here. There's one more. This is the not so fun one, but we have to do it. Okay, on this one, this is the statement that's required by the state of Texas. You would raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Nadine Alford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I have not
that I have not,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
paid,
paid,
offered,
offered,
promised to
or
pay,
promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
or promised to contribute
or promised to contribute
any money
any money
or thing of value,
or a thing of value,
or promised any public
or
office
promised any public office
or employment
or employment
for the giving
for the giving
or withholding
or withholding
of a vote
of a vote
of the election
of the election
at which I was elected,
in which I was elected,
or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation,
or reward to secure my appointment or confirmation,
whichever the case may be.
whichever the case may be.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you can sign this one too.
And while we're waiting, just for the record, Nadine is president of precinct 3.
Okay, well, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Bring us out here. So with that, if there's any other business to report this morning, we stand adjourned.